Today we're tackling a threat that quietly affects millions: identity theft.
Yeah,
Specifically, we're diving into how this crime hits older adults disproportionately. It's actually one of the fastest growing issues in the U.S.
it really is.
Our goal here is to give you a shortcut, really, to understanding it so you're not just aware, but well prepared.
And the timing for this deep dive couldn't be more critical. For seniors, identity theft isn't just about losing money.
Right.
It strikes at their sense of security, their peace of mind, often after a whole lifetime of being careful.
Absolutely.
So our mission today is to really unpack the specific risks they face and, maybe more importantly, equip you with the insights, the tools you need to protect yourself or your loved ones, to navigate this whole thing with confidence.
So the big question then is why? What makes seniors such a, quote, prime target for these thieves? I suspect some of the reasons might surprise people.
Yeah, it's often a mix of factors and not always the obvious ones. Take financial stability. Many older adults, they've built up significant wealth retirement funds, home equity, maybe pensions. Criminals see that as a higher value target.
More bang for their buck, so to speak.
Exactly. And sometimes they perceive it as easier to access. Then you've got public records.
Ah.
Things like property deeds, marriage certificates, even, sadly, obituaries. They're often out there, publicly available.
Wow.
Thieves can piece together a pretty detailed profile just from those bits of information, things we wouldn't even think twice about.
That's pretty sobering. Using public info or even something deeply personal like an obituary against someone, how else are they building these profiles?
Well, it goes deeper. Think about healthcare. Older adults generally have more interactions with doctors, hospitals, different providers. So that means more medical records being created, stored in different systems. Each one is another potential point of failure, another potential data breach.
More opportunities for things to go wrong.
Precisely. And another big one is credit monitoring habits. Retirees, they typically aren't applying for new loans or credit cards all the time, right?
Right, less frequent need for credit checks.
So fraudulent activity on their credit report, it can sit there unnoticed for much longer, sometimes months, even years.
That delay must be a huge advantage for the criminals.
It is. And there's also a factor of social trust. It's not about being naive, but many older adults grew up in a time when, an unexpected phone call or letter might have been perfectly legitimate.
A different baseline expectation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That generational difference in perceiving unsolicited contact, it creates a kind of vulnerability that scammers are really, really good at exploiting. These points together, they create that heightened risk we're talking about, whether it's for you or older people you care about.
It really paints a picture of how many different angles these criminals are working from. So with those vulnerabilities laid out, let's talk about how they're actually exploited. We all hear about credit card fraud, but you're saying the range of identity theft is much broader, maybe even surprising.
Oh, absolutely. It goes way beyond just stolen card numbers.
Yeah.
Our sources really break it down into about 6 common types.
6, okay.
First, there's financial identity theft. That's the one most people think of, getting access to bank accounts, credit cards, retirement funds for, unauthorized spending or withdrawals.
The classic thing.
Right. Second, and this one is particularly nasty, is medical identity theft.
Okay.
This is where a thief uses a senior's personal info, maybe their Medicare number, to get medical services, prescription drugs, or file fake insurance claims.
Affecting their actual medical history.
Yeah.
That sounds incredibly dangerous. What's the biggest hurdle in fixing that kind of mess? And what's one thing someone should do right away if they suspect it?
The challenge is huge because it can literally corrupt your real medical records. Imagine getting wrong treatment because someone else's condition is now listed in your file.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
An immediate action. Scrutinize every single medical bill, every explanation of benefits from your insurer. Look for any service, any doctor visit, any prescription you don't recognize.
Got it. Okay. What else?
Third is government benefits fraud. This involves hijacking Social Security numbers
Right.
to redirect benefit payments or file for unemployment or disability under the victim's name. Fourth, tax identity theft. Here, thieves file a bogus tax return using the senior's info before they file theirs, trying to snatch the refund.
Leaving the real taxpayer with a huge headache when they try to file.
Exactly. Fifth, criminal identity theft. This is when a criminal actually gives the senior's name and details if they get arrested or stopped by police.
No way.
Yes, it can lead to wrongful charges, arrest warrants, a real legal nightmare for the innocent victim. And finally, number 6, tech support and phishing scams.
We hear a lot about those.
Yeah. Criminals pretending to be from Microsoft or Apple or even the IRS or Social Security, tricking seniors into giving up personal data or, worse, remote access to their computers. Knowing these different types is just so important so you're ready for anything, not just the obvious stuff.
It's really clear that we need to be vigilant on, well, on multiple fronts.
So let's pivot to defense. How can you become your own sort of early warning system? What are those key red flags you need to watch out for to catch this early and limit the damage?
Recognizing those signs early, that's absolutely critical. Our sources point to several key things. First, keep an eye out for unexpected charges on your credit cards or withdrawals from your bank accounts, anything you don't recognize.
Standard stuff, but crucial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another big one, getting bills or statements for accounts you never actually opened.
Okay, that's a dead giveaway.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Also, being denied credit suddenly, especially if you know you have a good credit history, that warrants investigation.
Missing mail is another subtle sign. Bills or statements that usually arrive but suddenly stop. Someone might have changed your address or could be intercepting your mail.
Right, I wouldn't have immediately thought of that one.
It's easy to miss. Then, of course, getting a notification about a data breach that involves one of your accounts that needs immediate attention.
Yeah.
On the medical side, like we discussed, medical bills or insurance statements for services you never received. That's a huge red flag for medical ID theft. And finally, getting notices from the IRS about tax returns you didn't file. These aren't just abstract worries, they're like your personal alert system. For you or for people you look out for.
That's really practical.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the threats, we know the warning signs. Let's talk proactive protection. What are the concrete steps you can take starting right now to shore up your defenses?
Right. Prevention. Our sources lay out about 6 key best practices that can really make a difference. First, protect personal information offline.
Okay, the physical stuff.
Exactly. Store sensitive documents, social security card, passport, birth certificate in a really secure place, like a locked safe or safe deposit box. Don't just leave them in a desk drawer.
Makes sense.
And shred. Always shred financial documents before you throw them out. Also, maybe think about limiting the number of credit cards you carry in your wallet day to day.
Good point. Less to lose if your wallet is stolen.
Precisely. Second, strengthen online security. This is huge today. Use unique, complex passwords for every single online account.
Every single one. That's tough to manage.
It is, but it's critical. Password managers can help. And change them regularly. Even more important, enable two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication wherever it's offered, especially on financial accounts and email.
That extra code sent to your phone.
Exactly. It's a major barrier for thieves. Also, avoid using public Wi-Fi for anything sensitive like banking or shopping. And always log out of accounts when you're finished.
These seem basic, strong passwords logging out, but I bet they're the ones people skip most often.
You'd be surprised how often they're overlooked. Simple habits, big impact. Third, monitor financial accounts and credit.
Okay, vigilance again.
Yes. Check your bank and credit card statements, ideally, at least monthly. Look line by line. And review your credit reports. You're entitled to one free report from each of the 3 main bureaus, Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, every year. Get them at annualcreditreport.com.
The official site, right? Not the lookalike.
The only official site. And for extra peace of mind, you might consider a credit monitoring or identity theft protection service.
We'll touch on those later. What's next?
Fourth, guard against phone and email scams. The absolute golden rule here. Never, ever share personal information, account numbers, social security number, passwords, unless you initiated the contact and you're certain who you're talking to.
So if they call you, be suspicious.
Highly suspicious. Be especially wary of urgent demands for payment or threats supposedly from government agencies like the IRS or Social Security. They just don't operate that way. Hang up on those unsolicited tech support calls or people claiming to be from Medicare needing to verify your information. If you're worried something might be legitimate, hang up, find the official number independently, and call them back yourself.
That hang up and verify strategy seems like the strongest defense against so many of these direct scams.
It really, really is. It puts you back in control. Fifth, limit social media exposure.
Ah, the online footprint.
Yeah. Avoid posting things like your full birth date, your home address, even detailed vacation plans that show you're away from home. And set your profiles to private, not public.
Good reminders. And the last one.
Finally, number 6, mail and document security. If possible, use a locked mailbox or get a P.O. box. Retrieve your mail promptly after it's delivered.
Don't let it sit there overnight.
Exactly. And consider opting for paperless statements for bank accounts and credit cards. Less paper floating around means less risk of it being stolen from your mailbox or trash. These are all concrete actions that, taken together, significantly boost your defenses.
Those are definitely solid prevention tips. But, let's be realistic. Sometimes, even with the best precautions, things can still go wrong. So what about getting professional help for ongoing protection? And maybe most crucially, what are the immediate steps you absolutely need to take if you realize you, or maybe someone you know, has become a victim?
That's a really important point. For ongoing protection, there are identity theft protection services.
Like LifeLock and others we see advertised.
Exactly. LifeLock, Identity Force, Experian Identity Works are some well-known names. Now, they aren't mandatory, but they can be a useful layer. They typically offer things like credit monitoring, alerting you to changes on your credit files.
Okay.
Also, identity monitoring, where they scan dark web marketplaces for your stolen information. Many offer restoration assistance specialists who help you through the process of reclaiming your identity if it's stolen.
That sounds helpful, like having an expert guide.
It can be. And some offer insurance to cover certain out-of-pocket costs, like notary fees or lost wages sometimes. But it's really important to compare the different services, what they cover, what they cost, and crucially, their own privacy policies.
Right, you're giving them access to your info, too. So let's say the worst happens. You find unauthorized charges or get a weird bill. What's the absolute first thing you should do? What's that immediate action plan?
Okay, if you suspect you're a victim, acting fast is paramount. It minimizes the damage. The very first, most immediate step, contact your financial institutions.
Banks, credit card company.
Yes. Call them immediately. Close or freeze any compromised accounts. Dispute every single unauthorized transaction right away. Second, place fraud alerts and credit freezes. Contact one of the 3 major credit bureaus, Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion. You only need to contact one to place a fraud alert. They're required to notify the others.
What's the difference between an alert and a freeze?
A fraud alert requires potential creditors to take extra steps to verify your identity before issuing credit. A credit freeze is stronger. It generally locks down access to your credit report, preventing new accounts from being opened in your name. You'll usually need to contact each bureau individually for a freeze.
Freeze seems more secure then.
Generally, yes. Third step, report it to the FTC. Go to identitytheft.gov. It's the government's central resource. Filing a report there creates an official record and generates a personalized recovery plan with checklists and template letters. It's incredibly helpful.
Okay, FTC, got it.
Fourth, file a police report with your local law enforcement. You might need that official police report for certain disputes, like clearing fraudulent debts or dealing with criminal identity theft issues.
Makes sense. Paper trail.
Exactly. Fifth, if your Social Security number was compromised, notify the Social Security Administration. If Medicare info was involved, contact the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. And throughout this whole ordeal, the final crucial piece is keep meticulous records.
Document everything.
Everything. Dates, times, names of people you spoke to, copies of letters sent and received, reference numbers. Keep a dedicated file. This detailed action plan can really help reduce panic and guide you effectively through what can be a really stressful process.
That's a really clear step-by-step guide for a crisis moment. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, let's broaden the view a bit. Are there unique considerations specifically for seniors we should highlight? And what about the role of support systems, family, community resources? Where can people actually turn for help beyond just the official steps?
Yeah, there are definitely some specific nuances for older adults. For one, medical record accuracy. We touched on this, but it bears repeating. Seniors should diligently review every Medicare summary notice, every explanation of benefits. Incorrect medical information tied to their identity can seriously impact future health care.
That's a scary thought.
It is. Another point, caregiver awareness. If trusted caregivers help manage finances or appointments, it's vital they understand privacy best practices, too, to avoid accidentally leaking sensitive information.
So educating the helpers is important.
Very. Also, regarding power of attorney. While essential for many, this authority should only ever be granted to someone absolutely trustworthy, and even then, maintaining some oversight is wise to prevent potential misuse.
Right, it requires a high degree of trust.
Absolutely. And something often overlooked, estate and end-of-life planning. It's important to document how digital accounts, passwords, personal records should be handled after someone passes away. This helps prevent posthumous identity theft, which unfortunately does happen.
Wow, identity theft even after death. That's not something most people probably consider. So beyond self-protection, where can people find direct assistance? You mentioned the FTC, but what other resources are out there?
There are some excellent government and nonprofit resources. The FTC at identitytheft.gov is the main hub for reporting and recovery plans. The Social Security Administration deals with SSN misuse. Medicare.gov is the place for Medicare fraud. Also, the AARP Fraud Watch Network is a fantastic resource. They have tons of information, alerts about current scams, and a helpline specifically geared towards seniors. And don't forget your state consumer protection office. They often have resources tailored to your state's laws.
So it seems it's not just an individual battle. There's a strong role for family and community support in this too, right?
Yeah.
How can loved ones realistically help out?
Oh, absolutely. The role of family and community is huge. Family members can offer practical help, maybe assisting with setting up secure passwords or two-factor authentication, screening suspicious calls or mail, gently encouraging regular review of bank statements.
Kind of being an extra set of eyes and ears.
Exactly. Even just having a conversation beforehand, agreeing on a short response plan before anything happens can make a massive difference in a crisis. And beyond family, look to community organizations, local senior centers, even local police departments. They often host workshops or provide materials on fraud prevention specifically for older adults. It really underscores that protecting identity is often a team effort. There are support systems out there.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the big takeaway here for you, the listener? Our sources seem to converge on this idea of balancing vigilance with confidence, not living in fear, but being prepared.
Yeah, that's really it. If we boil it down, the key takeaways are seniors are unfortunately prime targets because of specific factors like wealth, public records, maybe higher trust levels. The threats are diverse way beyond just finances, including medical, tax, even criminal identity theft.
Right.
Prevention is multi-layered. Secure your physical documents, lock down your online life, monitor your accounts and credit regularly, and be incredibly skeptical of unsolicited requests. If something does happen, acting fast, following those steps we outlined, is crucial to limit the damage.
And don't go it alone.
Exactly. Lean on family, use community resources, consider professional services if it feels right for you. All of this works together to enhance safety and, just as importantly, maintain peace of mind.
So the final thought we want to leave you with today is this. How can you take these insights we've discussed and apply them to empower yourself, or perhaps someone you care about, to navigate their financial and digital lives confidently, ensuring that peace of mind lasts throughout retirement and beyond? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive.